Lon, there's a movie coming out at the end of the year.
I don't know what this is about to be.
There's a movie coming out at the end of the year that I think warrants its own countdown. We did this before with 9 Lives, and I think it's only fitting that this is the second film based around this particular animal to get its own countdown.
Is it based on a T.S. Eliot poem?
But it's not just a countdown, Lon. Today we start our official Meowntdown to Cats. 131 days away.
Look at that freakish Jennifer Hudson monster.
The Meowntdown is on. Cats opens in 131 days. We will, of course, as we did with 9 Lives, be revising this Meowntdown every week on the week until Cats opens on December 20th.
Wow.
We are 131 short days away. My apologies to everyone that was looking for this, that I neglected to. We lost like 3 whole weeks of Meowntdown.
Oh man, the Jellicle cats are infuriated with you right now.
If you say so. I have no idea what any of that
That's what they say. They say they're Jellicle cats, but they don't say what that means. That's just okay.
Yeah, it's like, where'd you go, Bernadette? You have to go to the movie.
I guess you have to go. Yeah, what's up with these cats? The movie.
So that's the Meowntdown, and that's starting with Dan for this week. Thank you. Before we go,
can't leave without this.
I can't leave without this. Our new feature. We're doing the Meowntdown to Cats. We are 124 short days away, Lon, from meeting Rum Tum Tugger and Griselda.
Oh, there's so many. Yeah, that's definitely, I don't know. Grisabella. They're going to be mad. The musical theater fans are going to be mad at us. But I'm
going to memorize here. How about this? Every week I will memorize a new cat's name.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it here on the show.
Yeah. There's like Mungo
Jerry?
No, I don't know.
That's a band, isn't it?
Mungo Jerry was a singer, but there's a Mungo something. I don't know.
Mungo just pawned in Gaelic.
It's not that Mungo.
That's Mungo.
Yeah.
All right, Lon. 124 short days until we get to take in whatever that fever dream is with our eyes.
I'm excited.
It'll be here before you know it. But this show is over before you know it. Thank you so much. The Meowntdown to Cats. Cats, we are 717 days away from the opening of Cats in December. And last week, Lon and I made a promise that I'm glad you're here also for the first week of, which is that, as we mentioned last week, we're very unfamiliar with cats.
Sure.
We know next to nothing about cats.
I'm in the same boat.
Well, good. Because we're here as a public service. We're starting a new thing every week. It's called Meet a Cat.
Meet a Cat.
Where we will be introducing you to a different cat from Cats every week. And this week, the first Meet a Cat is Bustopher Jones. Bustopher Jones.
No.
Yes. Bustopher Jones to be played by James Corden in the movie version. Bustopher Jones.
That's the name of a blaxploitation detective.
Perhaps.
I gotta call Bustopher Jones. That is not James Corden in a fursuit.
It is also the name of a cat from Cats. Now, I chose this because Bustopher Jones is close to my heart because Bustopher Jones is a tuxedo cat, and I have 2 tuxedo cats adopted at home. So I decided to start with Bustopher Jones, who is a St. James Street cat described on the Cats Wikia page as a parody of an Edwardian gentleman of leisure.
Oh, God.
He's a 25-pounder. He's a big cat who loves to eat at the various gentlemen's clubs that he frequents. He also wields a silver spoon as a walking stick.
Oh, man.
The role was originated in the London ensemble by Brian Blessed, who, of course, as I'm sure you know, also played Old Deuteronomy. Bustopher Jones traditionally only appears in the song also
in your
called
nightmares. Oh, okay. And
the song that's also named Bustopher Jones. So he's a one-scene pony in the musical. However, it would appear that you don't cast James Corden for one scene. So it appears that James Corden,
the role has been expanded.
Bustopher Jones may have an expanded role in the movie musical of Cats. And I'm sorry, tell me how the one on the right looks better than the one on the left.
It does not.
No.
I'd actually say they're equally horrifying because the way I imagine it is just what would I least like to wake up next to or like curled at the foot of my bed, and the answer is neither. Either one of those, and I'm just noping right out of my bedroom window.
Yeah, you're just jumping right out.
I'm out.
Well, you would if you were a cat, you'd land on your feet, as we've learned. So that is
I hope I don't.
That is our first. You'd rather meet your doom than meet a cat.
would.
Okay, fair enough.
Live in a world with Bustopher Jones.
Well, that's our first meet a cat. We will be introducing you to several more cats as the weeks go on. I hope that you've enjoyed meeting Bustopher Jones.
Bustin does not make me feel good.
It does not make Spencer feel good, but hopefully it made you feel good. Do the Meowntdown to Cats. Cats opens in 109 days as we all wait with bated breath and anticipation to see what in the hell's going on with this movie. I know I'm certainly curious. We're almost close to broaching less than 100 days left for Cats. But as we started last week as well, for people that don't know anything about Cats, and this is myself included, we are doing a public service for fans and viewers of Charting with Dan. We're very thankful that you're watching. We want to give something back, and that's why we are going to do our second installment of Meet a Cat, where we meet a new cat from the movie and musical Cats every single week, so you can be armed with information walking in. You don't have to go in cold. Last week, we met Bustopher Jones. This week, we're meeting the head of the Jellicle Cat tribe, Old Deuteronomy, who is played in the film version of the movie by Judi Dench. Old Deuteronomy is old, as you can imagine, from the name Old Deuteronomy. Very wise, has lived many lives, supposedly. Now, one thing that Old Deuteronomy shares with Bustopher Jones, who we met last week, was that the role was originated by Brian Blessed in the original London production of Cats. He played a dual role. He played Bustopher Jones and Old Deuteronomy. However, that was a special case. After that original production, they have been played by two different actors. By the way, a commenter pointed out, rightfully so, last week when I mentioned Brian Blessed, that I did not point out that you may know him as Boss Nass from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I don't know how I could overlook that. Old Deuteronomy may or may not exert psychic influence on the other cats. Old Deuteronomy can help the cats in their singing and dancing. Old Deuteronomy is also responsible for selecting which Jellicle cats will ascend to the Heaviside layer, which is a really huge responsibility, as you can imagine. I have to imagine, because I don't know what the Heaviside layer is. We'll find out. We'll all find out. We're learning about this together. But yes, Old Deuteronomy has been gender swapped from the traditional role in the musical to Judi Dench in this new Cats film. Again, I don't know how that affects the portrayal of the character. I've been not familiar with the musical myself. But if you didn't know who Old Deuteronomy was at all, now I hope you do a little bit. We now have met Bustopher Jones and Old Deuteronomy. Of course, we will continue to meet a new cat every week here on Charting with Dan. So please continue to join us as we familiarize ourselves with what's sure to be the blockbuster event of the summer, certainly in my own mind. Again, I don't know what the hell this movie is, but it intrigues me, which is, of course, the Meowntdown to Cats. Danielle, we're in the last week of triple digits. We are merely 103 days away from the opening of Cats.
I'm so ready.
If you haven't been watching the show, we are counting down the days until this, whatever this is, opens. Danielle, I did 1 week, the first week I did this with Spencer. Last week I did it alone. This week I'm very happy to have you here with me because you are the only person that we've had here that has seen Cats.
I know, and you keep insisting that's going to help me make sense of it for you, and it's just not.
Okay.
It's simply not going to make sense no matter what I say.
Well, maybe you can at least round out the edges on this
Yes.
week's cat. We're introducing you to a new cat every week because I don't know anything about cats, and so I figured to introduce myself and to introduce you, the audience, to some of these characters so you don't go in completely blind. We are devoting the end of the show every week to introduce a new cat from the musical/movie Cats. And this week's cat, I'm very happy. This may be my favorite one yet. We are talking, of course, about Macavity the Mystery Cat, to be played by Idris Elba in the film. And a bit terrifying, if I'm not gonna lie, a bit terrifying. As you can see, a very dapper looking cat.
Yeah.
In the trailers, we've only seen him briefly in the trailers for the film. Macavity the Mystery Cat, set to be played by Idris Elba. Macavity is an evil cat who is no fan of the Jellicles. He's rumored to have romanced many of the Jellicle cats. There's some attraction, including Demeter and Bombalurina. A little heat going on there. He's also a criminal who may or may not have the power of teleportation.
Yep.
In many productions, there are decoy McCavity the Mystery Cats who pop up around the theater to make it seem like he can appear and disappear at will. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Depending on the production.
Depending on the production, there may be.
And in fact, in a lot of productions, the cats will go into the audience. Like there are cats that will sometimes like go and hang out in the audience.
I would hate that.
Most people do.
Traditionally, McCavity is described as a ginger tabby, but obviously the feature McCavity is going to don a fedora and a bit of a mysterious look in this new film adaptation. Now, McCavity does not traditionally have a singing part in the show, although we know that Idris Elba has a musical background.
Yeah, he at least raps. I don't know if he sings, but I know that he raps and he does DJing.
Well, maybe the cat will rap and DJ.
I need it, Dan.
Yeah.
Don't promise me that and then not give it to me.
I mean, the movie's promising it more than I am.
It really is.
Idris Elba reportedly based his interpretation of McCavity the Mystery Cat on Jack Nicholson. And this is maybe my favorite quote. He appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert not too long ago, and Stephen Colbert asked him to explain the plot of Cats. And this is what Idris Elba said, and I quote, "It's a classic. It's a big musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber. I guess it's about a cat."
Yes, you are right.
How am I doing? It's this young cat, and she gets sort of, taken on this story about how to get to cat heaven.
Yes.
Or what should you do to get into cat heaven?
Yes.
How am I doing? Does anyone know what the story is?
He's very close. So it's like a combination of a musical and almost like The Lottery, where where yes, all of the cats, you get a chance to go to cat heaven, and then I think you get to come back as like a better kind of cat, like maybe not like an alley cat. This is my understanding of the story. Like you go, and so the thing is they all have to figure out which of the Jellicles is gonna die, and they don't like know, and so. Yeah, and so then when you die, you can, if you do the right things, you can come back as like maybe more of a domesticated cat and not like a cat that has to fend for itself.
So Danielle, we've met three cats on the show so far. Obviously, McCavity, the mystery cat, Buster Jones, our first cat, and Old Deuteronomy. Do you have a favorite of the three that we've met thus far?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have a favorite of the three. I don't have a favorite cats because all of them look awful and they just look like people in cat costumes. This is the joy of the movie and the joy of seeing the play. But at least like with the movie, because with plays, you can't just like leave.
Right.
But with a movie,
you can
just leave if you don't like it.
Yep.
But you will because it looks ridiculous.
Well,
so great.
I'm happy that you were here so that I could. Let's take one more look at him. McCavity the Mystery Cat, coming soon to a theater near you. And next week, we will introduce you to another cat from Cats.
Do you have any idea how excited I am that everyone in this office is excited for Cats?
It's palpable.
Yeah. You can feel.
That's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Palpable.
We're all really excited for this movie.
The anticipation for Cats around here is palpable. I just love, because I just look up names and then I'll just pick the cat and then I'll go and look at who's playing them. Yeah. It's not like, oh, I want to see who Taylor Swift is playing. And then I look it up and then I'm like, that looks like a stupid name. I mean, interesting name. And then I do the thing. Yeah. So who knows what lay in store for us
How
next
many
week.
people could we fit at a table for the Cats review?
All of us. We're going to hang people from the ceiling if we have to. We're gonna do like the Area 51 thing and just like Naruto run into the screening, and everyone's getting in, and we're all gonna review it simultaneously.
Let's see them cats.
It's gonna be glorious. So there you go. That's this week's cat. I'm glad that you could meet McCavity the Mystery Cat with us.
He's gonna wear a fedora.
He's going to wear a fedora. Tune in next week to learn about more. Also, tune in next week to see what happens with the second week. Juan, I'm so happy to do this.
Most exciting.
We have done the Meowntdown together.
Yes.
So first of all, let's look at the master number, the countdown to Cats. Lon, we're in the double digits. We're 96 days. It's going to be here before you know it.
I can feel it now. It's in the air.
We are 96 days away from Cats, whatever the hell this movie's going to be, hitting
Yeah,
theaters,
wow.
and I'm so happy that you can now. This is, I believe, our 3rd edition. You know, we weren't just. I believe you inspired this because you were talking about you know, we need to do a primer to introduce people to these cats.
Yeah, well, the whole idea of what is a jellicle cat and why are we learning about, why are we following these cats? It's confounding.
Yeah, well, we don't know any of that, but I'm just introducing you to
I don't think we
individual
ever
cats.
will.
No,
I don't think we ever will.
So we met Bustifer Jones, played by James Corden in the film,
sure.
and we met Old Deuteronomy,
Somebody should really
who's
give
to
that
be
guy an
played
Emmy.
by
He's
Judy.
great.
This is our 4th. I think you were here when we introduced it. But no, Spencer
No.
was here. You were gone for 3 weeks, I think.
I might have been.
Spencer was here to meet Bustifer Jones, and then Old Deuteronomy. I think I met with Danielle.
That's Ian McKellen's cat.
No,
correct?
that is Judi Dench.
Judy Dench is old. That sounds like a man cat's name.
It is in the show.
Oh, well, there you go.
And then last week we met.
Mungo Jerry, Rumple Teaser.
No, the magical cat.
They're all magical, aren't they?
Idris Elba's cat.
Okay. Oh, right. He's the only one who doesn't sing, right?
Yeah, he doesn't. He
Yeah.
doesn't. He just kind of skulks around.
He's the mean.
in what apparently is a fedora.
Yes.
Obviously, I need to re-meet some of these cats because I missed them from week to
You're our
week.
guru.
Well, I did it last week. You can go watch the show. Don't quiz me. I
Fair
forget
enough.
what we do the second I leave here. Anyway, this week we are meeting Jenny Anydots. Now,
All one word.
Yes, Jenny Anydots, all one word. Jenny Anydots is also known as the Gumby Cat. As described in the song about her, called the Old Gumby Cat. She's a loving cat, content to watch and sleep, but also very nurturing toward the other Jellicle cats. She's also known for the tap dancing that she does in her
Sure.
introductory song.
Of course she is.
Jenny Anydots actually has a lot of ties to some of the cats who've been on the shows before. It is Jenny Anydots who introduces us to Bustifer Jones via song in the
right.
musical version. We'll see about in the movie. Jenny Anydots was also supposed to be played by Judi Dench, who is in the film version as Old Deuteronomy. In the London production,
Oh, on stage.
on stage.
Because I was like, she's clearly,
No.
these are different age cats.
In the original London production of Cats, Judi Dench
wow.
was supposed to play both Jenny Anydots and a cat that we'll meet later named Grisabella. But Judi Dench, this is all, I'm not making this up.
I believe you.
Judi Dench had an Achilles tendon injury that took her out of the show. And then she attempted to come, now she could not do Jenny Anydots because that requires
much tap dancing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she had a cast on and they said, well, Grisabella's kind of old, so why don't you try to play Grisabella? And according to Judi Dench, she fell off the stage during rehearsal and decided that perhaps she should pull out of the show altogether.
It's a miracle she wasn't killed.
It is a miracle. That's what she said. It's a miracle she wasn't killed. So
This
Judi,
is like the Spider-Man Into the Dark.
it is. We almost
It's-
lost Dame Judi Dench to Cats
Before she had her Oscar-winning role
in
as
the
Queen
early
Elizabeth.
1980s.
Oh, tragedy.
So Judi Dench pulled out of the original Cats production completely. So her turn as Old Deuteronomy is really a homecoming for her.
Wow, yes. It's fine. It's been decades in the making.
She was replaced by Myra Sands, who originated the role of Jenny Anydots in the London production of Cats. Rebel Wilson will play Jenny Anydots in the upcoming film.
And that's your download on Jenny
any
Anydots.
Jenny Anydots questions?
So many Jenny Anydots questions, but none that I think we're going to answer today.
Yeah.
I would think it's interesting that Rebel Wilson has the role of a graceful cat who's a very good dancer. You would sort of think that plays against type. She's more of a bumbling persona in a lot of other things.
You would think.
You would think, but they're going a different way with it.
We'll find out in 96 days, Lon.
I'm excited.
I'm so embarrassed that I forgot the name of Idris Elba's fedora-wearing cat that we talked about.
Should we look it up?
No, let's not.
All
It's
right.
fine. Well,
They know who he is.
know
He's like the evil skulking cat
Yes.
in the trailer.
Yeah, this is a test because the audience should know.
They're
because
watching it.
That's why we're doing this.
They're screaming at their phones right now.
yes.
The answer. Yeah.
So that's your introduction to Jenny Anydots. We'll be back next week to to introduce you
Meet some
to
more of
yet
these cats.
another cat. And maybe starting next week, we'll just run through them all. This is the part of the show that I know I'm so happy that a lot of people are enjoying.
This is why everybody's been tuned in, just waiting.
Just waiting for this.
Enough charts.
Exactly. First of all, we've got to get to the Meowntdown to Cats. If you have not been joining us, we are mounting down the days until Cats hits theaters.
Oh my God.
We're under 90 days long.
Within 3 months, we're going to be watching this movie.
Yes.
I almost can't believe it.
It's insane. We are 89 days away from.
What are we? Are we the Screen Junkies doing anything? Are we all watching Cats
I
together?
feel like we should.
I feel
We
like
should
it's,
all,
we got to
get a
make
group
it.
to go.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk about that off camera.
Well, Lon, we're not just mounting down to Cats. We've been doing this for about a month now. We are also each week meeting a cat because I've been soliciting what the hell this thing is for quite some time, and no one was really able to explain it to me. And so I figured, as a public service for both myself, for you, for everyone on the show, and for everyone watching the show, we should meet these cats. Now, I'm leaving spoilers out because I don't want you to know what's going to happen to them, but I feel like you should know.
Because the plot of the whole show is meet these cats.
Exactly. I don't want to spoil what little plot apparently exists in the show.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do want to introduce you to some of these characters. Now, last week I forgot who we had covered the week before, so we're also going to start recapping just very quickly.
Good.
Not
Yes,
explanations,
thank you.
just sharing the names of the cats that we've met before.
Yes.
So just to review, the first cat we met, of course, Buster for Jones. Who could forget Buster for Jones?
It's a nightmare.
It's nightmarish to be played by James Corden. Then we met Old Deuteronomy, who will be Judi Dench's cat in this film. Then McCavity, the mystery cat, who I spaced out on last week. How could I do that? To be played by Idris Elba with a fedora.
Right. He's the one that doesn't sing.
Does not sing, apparently.
Just hanging around.
In the musical. And then last week we discussed Jenny Any Dots, played by Rebel Wilson. A fun-loving tap dancing cat.
She's the tap dancer, right? That's what we discussed.
This week is a big cat.
Oh.
This week is the cat that you probably have seen or heard more than any of the other cats.
Really?
Because this week we are talking about Grisabella. Grisabella, also known
the Jennifer Hudson cat.
Okay. Grisabella, also known as the Glamour Cat, is an exiled member of the Jellicle cat tribe. Grisabella is also aging, pining for her younger days as a more lithe, beautiful cat.
Jennifer Hudson? She's not that. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I didn't write the musical
That seems like the part
line.
you give Judi Dench, not Jennifer Hudson.
Well, strangely enough, that was the part that Judi Dench was going to play.
Oh,
she was going to play Grisabella.
Yes.
But she got hurt, and Elaine Page took over the role and then made it that's kind of the Grisabella.
And that's Elaine Page, I'm betting, on the right.
That is Elaine Page on the right. That's kind of the performance that people, that's the high watermark for many people for Grisabella. Grisabella, it is also implied, has turned to cat prostitution in her later years. So, I hate
such a thing as cat prostitution in this world?
Maybe not in your neighborhood, but there's some pretty sketchy corners. Sometimes I'll drive around and I'll see some cats sitting on the corner. I'm like, those cats are up to no good.
Okay. I'm gonna stop asking questions. I'm just going to accept it.
It's implied that Grisabella has become a cat prostitute.
I mean, she's wearing jewelry in this, so I guess she's got to pay for these fancy shawls somehow.
Now, the most famous song from Cats, which is, of course, Memories, is sung by Grisabella as she attempts to win back the favor of the Jellicle tribe. She just wants to go home to her friends.
Do we know why she's been exiled?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sure that I don't want to spoil everything. I feel like there's intricacies.
No,
in the film
we'll find out. We'll find out during the course of the action. I'm sure.
As I mentioned,
somehow McCavity is behind this.
I think McCavity, the mystery cat, is somehow, and this is the Glamour Cat. I think McCavity is somehow behind all of this.
Very suspicious.
As I mentioned before, Dame Judi Dench, supposed to play Grisabella, Elaine Page took on that role in the original London production. So yes, when you hear Memory being sung in the trailer and in many other clips and etc. of Cats, that is Grisabella, who's yowling you are hearing. Translated to song, I assume, through some magical process. I don't know how it works.
Grisabella. Cat prostitute.
Yes.
They're too young to get.
Is that a Fred Garvin reference?
It is. That's a Fred Garvin reference.
Dan Aykroyd's Fred Garvin. Wow.
They're all too young to get.
That predates Cats. Technically, Cats was doing a Fred Garvin reference.
Well done, Cats.
Anyway, so that's Grisabella. From what I've heard, this is a corner piece in the Cats universe. So this is a biggie.
Sure. Yeah,
this is
well,
a
that's
biggie.
the big memories, the big show-stopping number,
Yes.
J-HUD, the big casting.
Perhaps
crew.
the most famous cat we've met and important so far is Grisabella.
She's going to be singing that song on the Oscars, I'll
Yeah.
tell you right now. So get used to it,
She is 100% going to be singing that song on the Oscars. So get ready
gear up.
to hear Grisabella singing and Jennifer Hudson's nightmarish face as Grisabella, unless they fix the effects. Maybe they
they
will
ain't fixing those.
when Cats opens in December. So that's our cat this week. Tune in next week. We'll be meeting another cat. Who will
boy.
it be? Will it be Rum Tum Tugger?
We haven't met Rum Tum Tugger.
So, Lon, we're at that time of the show,
got a Cats
and we've got some Cats drama today to talk about. So, first of all, let's get to the
there was
Meowntdown.
Cats drama.
So much. As we look at, we're 75 days away, Lon, from the release of Cats.
I can almost taste it.
Oh, I'm
Taste the
I'm
fur on
allergic
my
to
tongue.
cats, and I can feel the sneeze forming in my nose as Cats gets even closer. I take Claritin because we have two wonderful cats at home. But Lon, we are every week, if you watch the show, we are meeting a new cat every week because I want to arm both myself and you at home with the knowledge that you're going to need. Now, we're not spoiling the movie, but I just want you to know who these cats are as you're
I
walking
don't think
in.
you can spoil them.
Apparently you can. I don't know.
They just show up and introduce themselves.
Well, then I guess I am spoiling the movie. So, spoiler alert, I
Sorry.
guess. Before we meet this week's cat, let's recap who we've met already.
Helpful.
Of course, the first cat that we met, Bustopher Jones, to be played by James Corden. Then we met the wonderful Old Deuteronomy, to be played by Dame Judi Dench. Next up, we've got McCavity, the mystery cat with a fedora, played by Idris Elba. I'm so interested to see that. Then Jenny Anydots, to be played by Rebel Wilson. A little happy-looking cat there, right? And then we've got Grisabella, horrifically portrayed by Jennifer Hudson in that photograph.
Terrifying.
And then Gus the theater cat, who we talked about last week, to be played by Ian McKellen. Sir Ian McKellen, my apologies.
Because apparently cats have their own cat theaters where they put on cat plays.
Cat theaters and cat prostitution, we figured out, are two things that exist in the world of the Jellicle cats.
There's a whole cat economy.
This week we're meeting a real star. We're meeting a cat, Rum Tum Tugger. Now, if the Jellicle Cats had a Mick Jagger, it would be Rum Tum Tugger.
Oh, okay.
Traditionally portrayed as the charismatic rock star of the group. I'm going to read to you now from the casting call for the character. This is how it was described. The rock star should have a strong, raw rock voice to be able to move well and must have a wild sex appeal with a sense of humor, playing age 25 to 30. Rum Tum Tugger is an attention hog. He's a hero to the younger generation. He's a nuisance to the older generation. Now, this is where I got into some real Cats drama that I didn't even know. This led me down a real rabbit hole.
Yeah, wow.
So in 2014, they did a revival of Cats in London.
Sure.
And as I mentioned, Rum Tum Tugger, kind of a rock star. They reimagined his character to be what they call more of an urban vibe. So his introductory song, which is like a rock, jam, was like more of like a rap song. They gave him a backwards baseball cap, braided hair, a vest top, and harem pants.
Okay. I don't know what cats are wearing baseball caps.
Right. Well, that's the thing. They're not wearing clothes. Are they?
I don't know.
They don't appear to me to be wearing clothes.
No, Jenny Anydots in that picture is not wearing any clothes.
So, but McCavity's wearing a fedora. This is what's so confusing to me.
Okay, clearly,
why are some of the cats naked and some of the cats are not naked?
It looks like your stage cats will wear like a coat and a hat, and your movie. Oh, look, he's in a coat.
But is that fur or is that a coat? I don't even know.
I think McCavity's in a coat and a hat.
Right. But then is Jenny Anydots then naked?
But this is confusing because stage Bustopher Jones is in a suit, but then James Corden is nude.
So already this confused me. So then this is what I found out about the same 2014 London revival of Cats. We talk about the Masked Singer on SJU every week. Nicole Scherzinger, I guess they saw that she was in the Pussycat Dolls and were like, she should be in Cats.
That has the word cat in it.
She played Grisabella in this same revival. But then when it was time to go to Broadway, she actually really pissed off Andrew Lloyd Webber because she left the show to go back to X Factor. To be a judge on X Factor, but there was a rumor that the real reason why was that they wouldn't give her top billing above the word cats.
She wanted to
on
be like
Broadway.
Nicole Scherzinger in Cats.
In Cats, which
And
apparently they did in London, and then the New Yorkers were like, "Get out of here!" And they said no.
Cats goes at the top of the poster. That was more Boston.
Leona Lewis replaced her and did the Broadway run. Did not get good reviews. Nicole Scherzinger apparently good reviews as Grisabella. Leona Lewis did not get good reviews. Was that fair? I don't know. I've never even seen the original show.
You have to have seen both productions.
Every time I dig into this, there's always some drama about Judi Dench spraining her ankle.
Yeah, people
or it's crazy.
In and out, constantly
it's
shifting.
insane. So yes, this not this role, but Grisabella. Played by Jennifer Hudson, also played by Nicole Scherzinger in the revival of Cats. Jason Derulo is going to play Rum Tum Tugger. That Jason Derulo is the one who was in the picture. He will be. That's Jennifer Hudson and Grisabella. Jason Derulo,
he has to show up and sing his own name at the beginning of all of his songs. Rum Tum Tugger.
Why not, right? Yeah. So there you go. That's Rum Tum Tugger. That's your cat for this week, Lon. Who will it be next week, and what drama in the Cats community? There's so many cats. We're gonna do one at a time, and then at the end, I'm gonna be like, and here's 47 more. It's crazy. I think they add to the IMDb every week because I go back and I'm like, wait, that cat wasn't there last week. It's insane. Interesting. And we're gonna
the entire show is introducing cats, so I guess there has to be a lot of them.
Well, we're gonna keep doing it. Lon, as I mentioned, Lon, this is the highlight of the show for a lot of people. I'm talking, of course, about the Meowntdown to Cats. We are a mere 68 days away, Lon.
So close.
Cats. We're just a cat hair under, a whisker under 2 months.
Can taste the catnip already.
Taste the catnip. I can smell it. I want to roll around in it on the floor. And as we have been doing for the last several weeks, we are taking the end of the show as an opportunity to introduce you to some of the cats. There's so many, and really, this is a primer for you to walk in and at least have some idea of what you're going to go see, what you're getting into. As we have been doing, first of all, let's recap the cats that we have met in the weeks previous. Of course, Bustopher Jones, played by James Corden, the first cat that we met. What a fancy-looking cat that is.
Scary.
Sure. Next, we had Old Deuteronomy, played by Dame Judi Dench in the film. Next, we met McCavity, the mystery cat, played by Idris Elba in a fedora. So mysterious. We'll find out what's going on with that cat.
Yeah. He wears a stringer bell on his collar.
Jenny Any Dots to be played by Rebel Wilson. Look at that happy-looking cat.
She likes to tap dance.
Apparently so.
That's one of the things I remember from her description.
Loves to dance.
Yeah.
Next up, we looked at Grisabella, a key cat in the Cats mythology.
Maybe the scariest cat of all.
The most terrifying cat of the new film, at least in the poorly rendered visions that we've seen from the trailers, to be played by Jennifer Hudson. And of course, how could we forget our next cat, Gus the theater cat, played by Ian McKellen. Just an adorable cat, really.
The role of his career.
The role of a lifetime for Sir Ian.
Finally, this guy is getting some opportunities.
And then last week, we met Rum Tum Tugger to be played by Jason Derulo.
Great Shakespearean actor.
Yes,
Jason Derulo.
I wish that we had a picture of like the like hip hop streetwise Rum Tum Tugger that they did in the reboot, but alas, we do not. Lon, this week's cat, I from what I've read and from what I've researched, is a key cat in the cat mythology. Plays a critical role in Jellicle cat lore. I'm talking, of course, about Mr. Mistopheles, also known as Magic Mr. Mistopheles.
Oh.
Look at him. He's doing a spell there.
Wow. I don't even recognize. Who's that actor?
That actor is, hang on, I recognize him, and I'm just giving you a moment. His name is... It's later in my rundown.
Bruno
I have to
Mars?
scan.
Who's that?
No, his name is Laurie Davidson.
Okay.
And you perhaps may best know him as the actor who played young hip Shakespeare in the short-lived TNT show Will.
No, I don't.
No?
Shockingly, I don't remember the short-lived TNT series Will.
Well, he is playing Mr. Mistopheles.
Okay, so we don't recognize him because he's an up-and-coming.
Unknown, yes.
Okay.
Well, not unknown. He's an up-and-coming actor.
young.
yes.
Yeah.
He does not have a long resume. Certainly not as long as Sir Ian McKellen
not-
and Dame
yeah,
Judi
right,
Dench. I mean,
yeah.
how do you even compete with that?
This is our first sort of like, a fresh-faced cat
Yes.
as opposed to a reliable Hollywood star cat.
What he may lack in notoriety, he makes up with magic.
Oh, no. So he
Because
does magic.
The magical Mr. Mistopheles
Okay.
is indeed magical. It is the most taxing dance role in the show because he is called upon to help conjure old Deuteronomy from the clutches of evil in the Jellicle's time of need. He is summoned by Rum Tum Tugger. It's still discovering the extent of his magical powers.
I don't think I knew that it had this much elaborate fate. Like, I thought it was taking place in our world.
Well, it may be.
But then I keep hearing about all this Narnia stuff.
Well, listen, it's our world, but there are cat actors, cat prostitutes, and some of them do magic.
Some of them
Lon.
they're cat sorcerers.
Exactly.
Now
He's a cat magician.
Sure.
Now, in some productions, Mr. Mistopheles is also known as Quaxo, and he's in disguise until his introductory song, but from Rum Tum Tugger, of
Got it.
course.
Yeah.
But in other cats, Quaxo is just a different character, and in others, he's just Mr. Mistopheles the whole time. He's magical, though. That's the important thing to remember.
Yes.
Mr. Mistopheles is magic.
Right.
He can perform magic and do magic. And he does in the show. I saw a wonderful clip from the Cats stage musical where he zaps things and the lights come on. It's very magical. He's the Harry Potter of the Cats universe.
And he's the leader of the mutant rebellion on Mars. Oh, no, that's
Yes.
Quato. That's Quato.
No,
not
that's Quato, not
Sorry.
Quaxo.
Sorry.
Mr. Mistopheles, much like the two cats that are in my apartment, is a tuxedo cat.
Mm-hmm.
The role was originated in London by Wayne Sleep, and as I mentioned, will be played by Laurie Davidson, young Will Shakespeare himself. Now,
He's clearly like a stage actor, and he can nail the dancing. I bet you.
I'm sure that's
I bet
probably
this is
part
like
of
he's
it.
a Broadway guy.
It's a very taxing dance role, from what
and
I've
so
read.
James Corden's not going to maybe be able to wow us with his, I guess he's a pretty good dancer.
He's a pretty, but this is like a classical ballet dance role.
This guy's going to really sell the dancing.
Now, if you know the name Mr. Mistopheles, perhaps his most notorious recent incident was the reference in Team America World Police, if you'll remember. Mr. Mistopheles was the cat who traumatized the member of Team America, Chris, backstage during a regrettable backstage incident at a Cats performance.
Yes. Okay, now I remember.
An incident that also included Rumpelteazer and McCavity the Mystery Cat.
Clearly, Matt and Trey Cats fans.
Yes,
obviously.
that's where I'd heard the name Mr. Mistopheles.
Right.
Was in Team America. Unfortunately, that's a very negative connotation. I've only associated him with this horrendous
It's also
assault.
he's named after the devil, right? Isn't Mephistopheles a word name
It's
for Satan?
Mistopheles.
This is it's a play on the name for the devil.
I disagree with your assertion. He's magical, Lon. He's a magic
He's
cat.
Mr.
He's good.
Mistopheles, but I'm saying Mephistopheles is a different name. It's another name for Satan. It's like Beelzebub or whatever.
Right.
So it's obviously was influential.
I don't know.
I'm
Lon.
saying this cat is in line with the devil, you guys.
Well,
That's
he
my
does
theory.
magic, so that's very possible.
That's what's powering his magic. Satan.
I was told that many people thought that about Harry Potter too, and he was just all right with everyone else. So don't think of him as the devil. He's a magical cat. He does magic, and he's here to help.
Yeah, who's potentially in league with the devil? That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
maybe not, but we'll find out when
We'll
Cats opens
tune
in
into
68
Cast
days.
and find out.
Anyway, despite Lon's slander of Mr. Mistopheles,
Just pointing out the etymology.
you can
folks.
catch Mr. Mistopheles when Cats opens in December. I can't wait. Of course, we have another important piece of business
Very
to do,
important.
which is the Meowntdown to
Sure.
Cats. Lon, we are a mere 61 days
Oh, man.
away from the release of 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
2 short months away from the release of Cats nationwide. I can't wait. If you have been watching the show over the last several weeks, you know that we're not just counting down to Cats. We are performing a service both for you and for us to give you a little primer. There's a lot of cats in this movie. That's why they named it Cats.
There's a ton.
It's called Cats because there's a bunch of cats.
Yeah.
And so we decided to introduce you to a new cat each week. Now this is a big one. This is perhaps the star that has attracted the most social media attention of anyone involved in the cast, because we're going to talk Tay-Tay.
Yeah.
We are talking about Bombalurina, who is the cat to be played by Taylor Swift
There you go.
in the version of Cats. Bombalurina, a flirtatious cat with a signature red coat. She's best known for her song introducing McCavity the mystery cat, who we talked about on the show before.
So she has a song that introduces somebody else.
That appears to be the main function for almost every Cats character that I've researched so far.
That's a tough pitch to make to Taylor Swift. Your big song, and he's going to be introducing that guy.
Well, she is a key role. See, here's the thing. She may not have a lot of character. She may have less characterization. She's kind of flirty. Mm-hmm. The male cat's lover.
Sure.
She's kind of, they call her the bombshell cat.
Bombalurina.
But she may have less character-wise than someone like an old Deuteronomy, perhaps. But she's a key role because not only is she key in introducing McCavity the mystery cat, she's key in introducing Grisabella. She's key in introducing Bustopher Jones. She's key in Rum Tum Tugger's introduction. From what I've been able to gather, this entire show is only songs introducing other cats.
Right.
And then something happens and it's over. So she's a key role, key singing, key dancing.
Sure.
I think that this may be why they cast Taylor Swift, because you need a performer, a well-rounded performer.
I mean, that's what she does.
So what she lacks in layers of character, she gets in just carrying a lot of the show on her shoulders. But yeah, Bombalurina, the bombshell cat, loved by male cats.
Feared by women?
by others, I assume. She's got a red coat.
It looks blonde-ish in the image we saw, but I'll take your word on that.
I think that's red.
Reddish?
That's red for a cat.
The right definitely looks red.
Well, that's the stage show.
Right. Yes.
I think that's red.
All right,
she's
fair
got catnip.
I'll go with it.
She's pouring catnip in the trailer.
Yes, right. She's got that the bejeweled container of catnip. Yes.
So there you go.
We are only a month away. We need to get a Cats advent calendar, to we open the days. Get a little piece of candy or something.
I like where you're
once
thinking.
we're 30 days out.
Once we're 30 days out,
every day I want to open a little
calendar.
door where there's a little McCavity.
It's a McCavity mystery cat.
get a little chocolate.
We'll put that on the list of things to do. The Cat's advent calendar
There you
once we
go.
hit 30 days. We got a month to prepare it. Hopefully
We got a month. Somebody will build that for us.
So there you go. It's a little short, but the character seems to be a little short. Despite being a key role, it's more of just expository.
She's introducing
personality.
a bunch of people. Well,
Yeah.
she's obviously not going to die and go to the heaven side, whatever. The
heavy side layer?
Heavy side layer. She's too young and vibrant. So,
But sometimes that's the most tragic.
Oh,
Perhaps she's a tragic character. I'm not one to say. But yeah.
I don't know. I legitimately don't know.
There you go. Tay-Tay,
I can't
Taylor
play
Swift
for you.
herself, set to play Bombalurina. Who will we meet next week? I don't know because I don't know any of the other cats. That's why we
we've
do
run
this
through
week.
every cat I can name. Easily.
There are so many more.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. Lon, it is, as always, before we go, time to do the Meowntdown to Cats. Cats will be in theaters before we know it.
So
because,
soon.
Lon, we're at 54 days. 54 days until Cats hits our eyeballs. Maybe for some of us, I will be lucky to catch it a little early. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. But as we've been doing for the last several weeks, Lon, we are going to not only mount down to cats, we're going to meet a cat, and this is a cat who is a big character on the stage, but looking to be a breakout character in the film version.
Okay.
Today we are talking about Victoria. Victoria is a featured dancer in the Cat stage production. Doesn't have a spotlight song like a lot of the other cats, but she is often said to embody the spirit of the show. So she has a lot of spotlight dances.
Sure.
She is a key part of Grisabella's arc in the show. She's a young white kitten, generally characterized as one of the purest of the Jellicle cats.
Okay.
Now, Francesca Hayward, who's on your left there, she is a ballerina who's appeared in the Royal Ballet, extremely talented dancer. She's the one in the trailer that's introducing. It appears that they are setting up Victoria to be a key member of the film, perhaps because she is sort of the newest of the cats. She may be the audience surrogate through which we're introduced to the Jellicle tribe and the world of these cats. We do know that Victoria is going to have a song
in the film.
Right.
It's going to be a new song written by Andrew Lloyd Webber with lyrics from Taylor Swift, who's in the film but is not playing
I just want to see the featurette about those two together writing a song. That sounds as entertaining as the musical Cats.
I mean, they have like the featurette, but that's not the truth. That's all posed.
No, I mean, I want to see the real fly-on-the-wall version of that story. Also, Victoria has a normal name. She's the only cat that we've met.
It feels like she should have been like Victor Ripidipsy.
Yeah, like how come the others are all Bustopher Jones? And like she's got like Victoria, just like a person name.
She's got I don't know why she has a person name.
Yeah.
And how does somebody with Victoria fit in with Old Deuteronomy and Grisabella?
Yeah, she's meeting all these other cats. Like, what is
Bustopher Jones? Bombalurina.
What's wrong with Lisa?
McCavity. Yeah, Victoria.
Why isn't there like a Sam?
But Victoria, it looks like will go from certainly a prominent figure in the Cat stage production to perhaps the key figure.
Yeah, the movie seems like
film.
so we're sort of expanding the Cats verse in a way.
Maybe she may be doing in the film what I'm doing on the show, which is like she will be introducing you to the world of cats. But as it turns out, that's a superfluous thing because we're already doing it here.
It's done.
So
you're going to go into that theater ready to go.
I read that as I was doing the research that when Phantom of the Opera passed Cats for the longest running Broadway show, it was Victoria who was chosen as the character. I guess they did a thing where she came on stage and like passed the torch.
Oh, how nice.
So there is actually a Cats Phantom of the Opera crossover.
Wow.
Canonically, that happened for one night at least on Broadway.
Joel Schumacher, there's your next idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Cats comes out.
Cats of the Opera.
Yeah.
Phantom of the Cats? I don't know.
So one of those.
Somebody else figure it out. I'm tired. So that's Victoria. I think perhaps we'll be getting to know a lot more of Victoria in
it seems
the
like
Cats film.
She's going to have a featured role.
She's
in a lot of the trailer. I now realize upon seeing her that she's all over the trailer.
Yeah, I think she may be perhaps the lead character.
She might, right. Or, yeah. I think your audience surrogate guess is probably right on. That
we'll
probably meet her first, and then it's her adventure meeting all these other cats, and we're following along.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Keep an eye out for Victoria and McCavity the Mystery Cat.
He's the one in a hat.
Yeah, this has become my favorite part of the
Yeah,
show.
of
I'm going to be
course.
very sad when this is over. Of course, I'm talking about the Meowntdown to Cats. We are getting ever so much closer.
Maybe that'll be our last $1 billion grosser.
It
You
could
don't
be
know.
Cats.
You don't know.
It could be Cats.
Greatest Showman. Nobody saw that one coming.
No. Cats may be that last $1 billion grosser. Rumpelteazer and Mungo Jerry, who we're going to meet in a second, could be rolling around in cash. But first of all, let's look at how many days we have left until it hits theaters. 47 days, Lon. Oh,
so close.
The time is flying by. We're going to be at 40 days next week.
I can't believe it.
Actually, 39, I think, because we're off next Monday for Veterans Day.
Charting moves to Tuesday.
So we're going to be below 40 days by the time next week's show rolls around. And as we have been doing for the past several weeks, because there are so many cats in this show, we've been introducing you to a different cat every week. Now, this week, as I mentioned, it's a 2-for-1 special because these two cats come in a pair.
Yeah.
Today, we are introducing you to Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer. Now, this is a picture from the show. Their role in the film, TBD.
Really?
Well, they have a song in the show, but they're not being played by big name actors in the movie. However, these are they featured characters in the Cats Broadway production and elsewhere.
They have their own song.
They have their own songs.
Yeah.
So we're gonna meet both of them, and we'll see what happens in the movie. But yes, Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer, they're a pair of mischievous cats.
Sure they are.
They pride themselves on their troublemaking. Mungo Jerry is sometimes suspected to be in cahoots with McCavity the Mystery Cat.
Cahoots?
Cahoots, yeah.
What does that mean?
You never heard the word cahoots?
No, I know what it means to be in cahoots, but I mean, like...
They think he may be like an agent of McCavity the Mystery Cat.
They're running numbers
like
together
a spy,
or something? Okay.
like a cat spy.
What do cats need to spy on other cats for?
Well, they're actors and prostitutes, so why not spies?
No, you're right. That's silly of me to even question why a cat would be performing espionage.
Yes.
Is it corporate espionage?
No, he's like McCavity is so full of mystery.
Trying to steal the cat nuclear codes?
This, however, does not appear to be the case. It seems like Mungo Jerry is just your everyday common thief.
Okay, that makes more sense. Like a troublemaker cat.
It's like a whisper campaign. Like,
right.
Hey, I heard he works for McCavity, and then people are like, Nah, he's just a thief.
Right. Okay.
Rumpelteazer, they're a pair. They go around, they're causing trouble. They eat food and out of restaurants, and they take and break stuff.
They're agents of chaos.
They're agents of chaos.
They're
Exactly.
Joker
They're the
cats.
jokers of the cats
They're
world.
the two cats who've seen Joker.
Yes, exactly.
And they got all the wrong
They're doing
ideas.
Joker stuff. They're dancing downstairs.
That's
they're doing
it,
everything
yeah.
that cats would do.
All right.
Rumpelteazer, sometimes shown to have a little thing for Rum Tum Tugger. The rock star cat,
Yeah,
obviously.
this is where we're going to need charts of.
Right.
You know, which
when we
cats
start
and-
connecting them is when we're really going to
Yeah,
be in trouble. I got to start doing the recaps again.
We're going to need like Claire Danes style homeland boards with like yarn connecting everybody.
Yes, there has been. I know it next week. I'm going to shout it out. There's been a wonderful fan of the show. I'll retweet this on my Twitter account. I actually have meant to, and I've forgotten. Who's been putting together recaps of our recaps that are great because it summarizes our own recaps.
Yeah, they're like flashcards where you can go through and really study.
I will retweet that, and I promise you, you were awesome, and I will shout you out on the show next week. But has been putting together recaps of our own introductions to the cats of cats.
We're doing
because we're starting. It's all starting to come together. It's like a string. I know cats love string. This is like a string map of cats. Both of these are tabby cats.
Okay.
They're tabby cats. They have their own song, as we mentioned, in the stage version. Not yet known what their role in the film version would be. It should be noted, as a piece of trivia, the British rock band Mungo Jerry, which was recently name dropped in Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, that's
talking about the beards.
Right. Tony Stark's goatee in 1970.
Took their name from the same works that Cats is based on.
Naturally.
From T.S. Eliot.
Yeah, of course.
So Mungo Jerry, the band, and Mungo Jerry, one word, the cat, share a common ancestry. Mm-hmm. Like,
so there you go.
So many best things. So there you go.
I don't think I know any Mungo Jerry songs.
In the summertime, they said was the biggest. That was their biggest hit.
Well, that's that. I know that one.
Yeah,
all right.
in the summertime.
Never mind. I do.
Yeah, there you go. So that's Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer. Who knows? We're gonna have one cat, two cats next week. We're running out of time. We're gonna have to get through.
We're gonna have to start doubling up on some of these cats.
We're gonna have to start doubling up on cats. We started this week.
Now, Lon, of course, more and more people are tuning into the show, and I love it that you're enjoying it. To join us as we mount down to the release of Cats. It's been 8 days since our last Meowntdown one, which means that we are under 40 days.
Yeah.
We are 39 days away from the release of Cats, which, by the way, I was reading because it is, I assume, still vastly being worked on in post-production, will miss the deadline for many major awards.
They're rushing to the finish line to get it done in time for the Meowntdown to finish.
Yeah,
so,
they're racing. They're racing against the Meowntdown clock, and I don't think they're going to make it. Meow it.
I don't know.
But this is what happened with Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
Greatest Showman largely was put out after the deadline for a lot of awards. I think maybe because the studio perhaps didn't think that it was going to, and it wasn't a critical success.
Yes.
And it ended up, perhaps if they had given it a bigger push, it may have done better for award season. But it looks like Cats will be, it's going to have to be something really special to get on a lot of the award show ballots, because it's going to miss the deadlines for a lot of the big early major award shows.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, that doesn't mean the Oscars. It means like the SAG Awards, like the earlier
Golden
ones,
Globes, etc., which are important keystones on the way to the Academy
Those
Awards.
inform what people vote for the bigger awards.
Well, Lon, we're not just mounting down to cats. We are introducing you to a new cat, and this week's cat is a cat of mystery, because Lon, unlike the other cats that we have talked about, this week's cat is not a part of the Jellicle cats.
I still don't know what that means.
It's like their group.
It's like their club.
Yeah,
so it's like a gang. The Jellicle cats. I thought it was like a biological. Like these are Jellicle cats and these are just cats.
I think it's like a Venn diagram.
It's like a social club.
But there's some kind of a supernatural component
It's
involved
like being
somewhere.
a cat Freemason.
I feel like the Jellicle cats. They're very special cats. But this character is not a part of the Jellicle cats. As a matter of fact, it's not even a real character. We've mentioned this character on the show before. Today we're meeting Growl Tiger.
Growl Tiger. He looks like a character.
He looks like a character, but here's the thing about Growl Tiger. As you can see, he has an eye patch.
He's wearing a Cosby sweater.
Yes, he is. It's just the 80s. All the cats
You
were wearing
see the cats. Okay,
those used to be much more fun.
Yeah.
As you can see, he's wearing an eye patch because we mentioned Growl Tiger briefly before when we were talking about Gus the theater cat. He's a pirate cat.
Okay. Yeah.
Growl Tiger is a pirate cat, and he is a cat that is. I've mentioned that most of the songs in the musical are about introducing other Jellicle cats.
Yes.
This is a song that introduces this cat who is inside the world of cats, another fictional character.
Right. So
He's a fictional character inside this fictional world.
We covered that Gus the theater cat is an acting cat.
Yes.
So the idea would be this would be a character that a cat might play in a cat theatrical performance.
Yes. So basically, there's a song called Growl Tiger's Last Stand.
Sure.
Which was not filmed for the 1998 version.
Okay.
And was not included in the Broadway revival.
Okay.
But this role will be included in the film version. Basically, Gus, the theater cat, talks about like all of these great performances.
Who's going to be Ian McKellen?
Who's going to be Ian McKellen, and he talks about Growl Tiger. And so Growl Tiger's Last Stand is about this like kind of pirate cat named Growl Tiger who is in love with this other cat named Lady Griddlebone.
Of course.
And he's terrified of other pirates who are Siamese.
All right.
Siamese pirates.
Okay.
And so
I'm choosing not to get hung up on cat pirates, just like because we had cats doing espionage. We've had
this
cats
is cat
doing
fiction, though. This is cat fiction.
Right. So I'm trying not to get too hung up. But wouldn't cats have had to like go to sea to have a concept of a cat pirate?
Well, but this is a fictional cat inside of the cat universe.
So maybe they read about human pirate adventures, and they're like, why not us?
He's the Blackbeard of the cat universe, and that the cats themselves have written a narrative about Growl Tiger, who's a pirate.
Our pirate fiction as humans is at least loosely based on real history. There were pirates, and we're telling stories about them. For cats, I'm betting there never were cat pirates. And
you don't think there were cats on those pirate ships?
Oh, maybe.
I promise you there were cats on those pirate ships, and that, I think, makes them cat pirates.
Eat the cats.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I don't know.
Would they eat the parrots? Lon, I'm not here to argue the intricacies of cat piracy.
Leave us in the comments below. Did they have cats on pirate ships? And if so, would those have been considered pirate cats?
We're getting lost in the weeds of this cat pirate thing. So
in the weeds on cat pirates.
David S. Pumpkin.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. I'm sorry.
Growl Tiger, fictional character inside the narrative of Cats, a meta narrative inside the narrative, to be played in this film by, I'm not making this up, film tough guy Ray Winstone. Or Ray Winstone.
Ray Winstone, yeah.
Will be playing Growl Tiger.
Sure. Okay.
So, but he's not in any of the trailers or anything.
I assumed just by what you were saying that Ian McKellen would, he's talking about his greatest roles. Why wouldn't we see Gus
he's talking about he liked playing that character.
So we're
talking about the character.
We're going to see in his imagination Ray Winstone embodying the character.
This character that Gus the theater cat enjoys.
All right. I hope he doesn't exactly like his role in Sexy Beast. That's what just almost nude, tan,
hanging out by the pool.
Belly,
and then Ben Kingsley shows up and yells at him. Honestly, I would just love for Sexy Beast to be restaged with both in cat outfits.
Just dressed like
would be amazing.
I love it.
Growl Tiger seems like a simple concept, but perhaps the most complicated cat concept that we've talked about thus far. So inside the narrative of Cats, we have another figure, Growl Tiger, who did not make the cut for many Cats adaptations, but did make the cut for this film.
It's weirdly like Tales of the Black Freighter in Watchmen.
Yes, I thought about the same thing.
It's like a fictional pirate narrative in the fictional universe.
Growl Tiger's Last Stand is the Tales of the Black Freighter of the Cats universe.
Got it. Now it makes perfect sense.
Also about pirates.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like pirate fiction in the middle of these weird fictional universes.
So there you go.
Yeah. Always pirates.
You're welcome. Growl Tiger.
That's it.
Cat pirates inside of the cat world, but not the real cat world. A very happy cat. Very happy kitty. Skimbleshanks. Skimbleshanks is that is the Skimbleshanks there, the theater version on the right, the movie version on the left. Very mysterious movie version we don't know yet. Looks like he's wearing Roger Rabbit outfit. Skimbleshanks is a ginger tabby. He's known as the railway cat. Skimbleshanks, he works on a train. Works on a train called the Night Mail that runs from London to Scotland.
Goodness.
He takes pride in his work on this train, none more so than in his own song, Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat, in which he traditionally dons a waistcoat and a pocket watch to extol his many talents as he literally keeps the trains running on time.
Skimbleshanks is doing it.
Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat. Now, we've had pirate cats, we've had actor cats, we've had potential cat prostitutes. Now we have a cat train conductor / footman. Cats are everywhere, Joe.
Yeah. I'm so ready to keep this on the rails. I like the choice to take away his shirt for the movie.
Right. Well, he
we
has a
put that
wardrobe.
picture-
He has a
look at that.
wardrobe change in the show, so this could be
okay.
pre-number where he is yet to don the dickie or the shirt or whatever it is that he's wearing.
Okay, got it.
I will say this Skimbleshanks looks a little more rough and tumble than the.
He looks. He's a scrapper.
Yeah, which seems antithetical to Skimbleshank's nature, as I understand it, which is very little. So we'll see. Perhaps more will be revealed about Skimbleshanks tomorrow in the new trailer. In various productions, traditionally he's seen to be close to Jenny Anydots, who's one of our earlier cats. Old Deuteronomy, who's one of our earlier cats. He has a part to play with Grisabella. He will be played in the film by Stephen McRae, who is a Royal Ballet alumnus, along with Francesca Howard, who you weren't here, so you may not remember, will be playing Victoria.
Oh, I'd never forget
In the
something like
film.
that. Yeah.
So Skimbleshanks' own number in the show. How will he move over to the movie, Joe? We're not going to know. We're not going to know until the movie opens in 33 days. However,
Will they give him his number?
we may get a sneak. Maybe the trailer tomorrow will include part of the number Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat.
A low minor.
A low minor
arrangement.
rendition of Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat that goes behind the entire show. Because they already did the flashy one.
Yeah, this one's got to be sad and moody.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Joe, we're almost less than a month away from the opening of Cats. I hope you enjoyed your introduction to Skimbleshanks. Perhaps, again, we'll all meet Skimbleshanks. The new trailer tomorrow.
I'm on this train.
I'm getting up at 12:01 a.m.
As you
and I'm
should.
going to sit until the trailer drops tomorrow.
We need to give at least as much time to Cats as we do to Star Wars.
I mean, I'm trying. I'm doing my best on this show. I've talked about Cats 10 times more on this show than I've talked about Star Wars.
I
in
have
the
not
last
held
3
up
months.
my end of the deal here. I've fallen behind on SJU scheduling, and we'll cat it back up.
Yeah, I think we should put together. I'm gonna volunteer our post-production department. Once we're done meeting Cats, I think we should assemble all of them into one video that we can then release as its own. It's already underway.
Thank God.
So I can announce here that once we've introduced all the cats, and I'm assuming it'll be the Monday leading up into release of the film.
Oh, yeah.
We will be releasing a video with all of our Meet a Cat segments, so that all of your cat introductory questions can be answered as you watch my various co-hosts get more and more confused.
Dan,
Yes, sir.
let me throw something at you.
Okay.
Cat draft?
Before or after the movie?
I think it'd have to be after.
It'd have to be after.
Yeah, it'd have
Cat
to-
Draft 2020.
It'd have to be part of the Caftermath.
Yes, the Caftermath. That's going to be after the Meowntdown. We're going to Caftermath. Yeah, Cat Draft 2020. I'm on board. Will you be on board with what's coming out this week? Let's see. 21 Bridges. Chadwick Boseman coming out. See if you like that. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Tom Hanks, Mr. Rogers movie. There'll be a review of that movie here on Fandom Entertainment later this week. Frozen 2, obviously the big movie coming out this week.
Oh, yeah.
There will also be a review of that this week right here at Fandom Entertainment. And then in limited release, a movie with Mark Ruffalo, directed by Todd Haynes, called Dark Waters. Mark Ruffalo, Todd Haynes, Dark Waters.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
It looks really good, though.
I've seen it. I enjoyed it. It's about a legal battle against the DuPont chemical company. It's kind of a,
I like
civil lawsuit. I like a good legal
I like a good
Yeah.
legal procedural. That's
Yeah.
why I love The Judge.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wait, with Robert Duvall and Robert Downey
One
Jr.?
of the best. You're never going to invite me back.
We're gonna break this down off camera. Yeah, let's just end the show so Joe and I can talk about that. Thank you for watching. There is a movie on the horizon that I know we're all excited about. We've been doing this for quite some time. The Meowntdown to Cats, and I could smell the catnip, Lon. Let's look at this
smell the
number. It's an
wet fur.
impossibly low number. 26 days.
It's
Lon.
under a month.
Under a month. 26. We're 26 days.
Do we have
away.
our tickets for this already?
No.
We're gonna after this. We gotta go plan the Screen Junkies Cats outing.
I think maybe you won't have trouble finding them, but maybe that's just me.
I don't know.
I don't know. So, Lon, not only have we been mounting down to Cats, and there was a new trailer that came out last week. I didn't have time to do a full breakdown for the show, but as it turns out, I maybe should have done a little more research on our cats that we're meeting, because maybe this should have been the first cat that we met.
That's the point. We don't know.
We
We're
don't
getting
know.
to know them.
We don't know. Today
We're being transparent here about our lack of cat knowledge.
Today we're going to meet Monkish Trap. Monkish Trap is the narrator of Cats.
Oh.
Monkish Trap means that he introduces the younger cats and by extension the audience to the world of the Jellicle tribe.
He looks like a young Christoph Waltz if
He
you
does
were
a little
cat.
bit, yes.
Okay.
He has the first song in the show.
Wow.
Jellicle Songs for Jellicle Cats, as well as the invitation to the Jellicle Ball, which articulates what we've been struggling to explain for weeks now. So
Right.
I'm going to read to you now some lyrics from Monkish Trap. And this is literally what we've spent.
Now, I have a question before
Yes.
we begin. The T.S. Eliot poem upon which the show is based, I believe, is called Jellicle Songs for Jellicle Cats, or that maybe was the book.
Right.
Is this that you're about to read a T.S. Eliot poem?
I'm going to say yes. And I base that off of nothing.
Okay. I might look this up and see if this was a T.S. Eliot original.
So this is the premise of Cats. Again, if I'd known, we would have just done this a few weeks ago and just hung up our hats.
This is it.
But this has been a fun journey. So this, according to Monkish Trap, this is the story of cats. Jellicle cats meet once a year at the Jellicle Ball where we all rejoice. And the Jellicle leader will soon appear and make what is known as the Jellicle choice. When old Deuteronomy just before dawn, through a silence you feel could cut with a knife, announces the cat who can now be reborn and come back to a different Jellicle life. For waiting up there is the Heaviside lair, full of wonders one Jellicle only will see. And Jellicles ask because Jellicles dare, who will it be? Who will it be?
So in case you couldn't tell.
They say the word Jellicle so many times.
A lot.
In that, yeah.
Considering that it doesn't mean anything, they use it a lot.
They do.
So in case you could not tell, not written by T.S. Eliot,
Yeah.
that's an Andrew Lloyd Webber
That's an
original.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
That's ALW.
So yeah, we literally could have just saved ourselves.
I still feel
hours of
like I
time.
don't. First of all, I don't know what Jellicle means, so I can't tell the difference between these cats and just general.
It's like the
cats.
Sharks and the Jets.
It's a gang.
It's their gang name.
They got jumped in.
Yeah, they're the Jellicle cats. It's like the
right.
Screen Junkies. We're the Screen Junkies. They're the Jellicle
Also,
cats.
I did not realize old Deuteronomy, that's Judi Dench.
That's Judi Dench.
Like she's choosing.
She makes the choice.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought she was in the running.
No, she chooses what cat goes up to the Heaviside.
So she's ineligible.
She might be able to choose herself.
Oh, okay.
And it could be a Dick Cheney situation where
She can
she's
vote
in
for
charge
herself?
of the committee to find the cat, and then she's like, "It's me." I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if she could choose herself.
Weird.
I'm sure it's explained in the show, and someone will correct us. But
So no matter, as keeping with this format, no matter how many questions we answer, we're still left with more questions.
yes,
Always.
I feel like this is the bottomless pit of Cat's questions.
Oh no, I'm going to get out of this movie and
We
not
will
sleep for
never
weeks.
get to the bottom. By the way, the new trailer didn't feature anything that I've been reading about or
no.
talking about. I don't even know if this could all have been a waste of time because I don't even know if any of this stuff's going to be in the movie. It looked like Rebel Wilson hitting herself in the face and James Corden being James Corden. I don't think that's in the musical itself.
Yeah, no. I just want to know how, like, Idris Elba's cat is magic. He could disappear at will.
That's my favorite thing. Disappearing
Like
McCavity.
Nude Idris Elba cat.
With the did you notice he
vaporizing.
leaves the fedora behind?
Oh, I did. I know.
Further legitimizing our thought that the most important thing about McCavity the mystery cat is that he wears a fedora.
This is that.
So anyway, that is Lon. We're gonna be in the teens next week. 19 days away.
Can barely contain.
I
mine.
cannot
Yes.
wait.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking with us. And again, I apologize for not introducing the cat who told us what Cats was first, but that's just how it goes when you're meeting cats. It's
Listen.
chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst part about missing last week was that I missed a whole week of the Meowntdown. Luckily, not only do we have two cats to talk about today, but I also have seen now the musical. I watched it last night.
Right.
We have a game that I'm going to play with you, a guessing game.
Okay.
We're going to meet two cats, and then we're going to set up what to do with the final Meowntdown next week.
Yes.
But first of all,
Love it.
let's look at the hard numbers on the Meowntdown. We are almost in the single digits.
Jeez.
Juan, we're 11 days away from Cats. Do you want to hear a fun fact about Cats?
Sure. Hit me with it.
Critics screenings for Cats are next Tuesday.
Are you already RSVP'd?
Well, here's the thing. There are two of them. and they're the same day as the critic screenings for the Rise of Skywalker, and they both occur opposite critic screenings of the Rise of Skywalker.
They're having the Cats press screenings at the exact same time as the Rise of Skywalker press screenings.
Yes.
So they don't want people to see it.
I didn't say that. I just think it's interesting. I did not know that. I was very shocked to find that. But it's opening the same day.
Yeah, I mean, I get you could still have the screening like a day, but like opening them on the same day in theaters is like, okay, that's counter-programming. You don't counter-program critic screenings.
Apparently they do, Lon. So
that strikes me as a very bad
depending
sign.
on how the scheduling works out, I'm hoping to get a chance to see it, or maybe I'll just set to buy a
all our
ticket,
press screenings are at 3 a.m. in Central California.
I would
Weird.
go.
Sorry.
I'll go to the Inland Empire at 3 a.m. if it means I get to see Cats. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Wow.
Because I just want to see it. I've now seen the musical, and I am so confused. It was one step forward, two steps back. There's nothing more to it. I thought that there was more to what we were talking about. As we were talking about all these cats introducing themselves, we joked about the fact that that's all there was in the show, but it turns out that's the truth. Like, the movie can't be that musical because it would be irresponsible financially to make that film.
Yeah, I think one thing we've really come up against in all of our time doing the Meowntdown is that there doesn't seem to be a beginning, middle, and end.
No, there
doesn't seem to be like action and then consequence.
You have 90% of the musical is setup.
Yeah, which
To
is
nothing.
not how stories traditionally work.
It's 90% of it is setup, and then 5% of it is there's one event that happens involving McCavity the mystery cat.
Okay.
And this event happens, and I'm like, okay, here we go. The plot is thickening. We're kicking it into gear late in Act 2, but that's all right. We're kicking it into gear. But it turns out the thing that happened was only an excuse to introduce another cat who then instantly solves the problem that was just created. And then then the show is over. Like one other thing happens, which is you're building up to this who's going to the Heaviside layer, and then you find out it's one of the 15 cats who have walked on stage and left, and you've never seen or heard from them again in the last hour and a half.
Sure.
And then it's over.
Yeah, I feel like this is where our struggles a bit. Like a story is an implicit promise that things are going to we'll start here, and then a bunch of stuff happens, and then you end up over here.
Yeah.
And it feels like Andrew Lloyd Webber is just spitting in the face of that convention.
Now, one thing I did find is that you could tell that Andrew Lloyd Webber and the team behind the musical did want to get the audience in the universe early. So we're gonna play a little guessing game, and then I made my first cat-related chart.
Love it.
I'm very excited.
Yes.
So in the first 15 minutes of the musical, first 15 minutes,
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you how many times two certain words are said.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm gonna show you the results. So the first one is in the first 15 minutes of the musical. How many times, and I may have missed, this is my personal count, so this is plus or minus, let's say 3.
Human error, sure.
How many times do you think the word jellicle or jellicles is said in the first 15 minutes or song?
Everything I've ever seen, all of the lyrics I've seen are all like, when a jellicle cat is a jellicle cat, he does a jellicle thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess it's high. I'm going to say 70 times?
70 times, okay. And then how many times, again, in the first 15 minutes, is the word cat or cats said?
Oh, boy. I'll go another 18 times.
18 times
Yeah,
for cat.
I'm guessing jellicle more than
cats.
the word cat, because cats is in the title.
I did a bar graph.
Oh, great. Let's
take a look. As you can see, in the first 15 minutes of the film, the word jellicle or jellicles is said 97 times.
That is pretty staggering.
The word cat or cats is said 61 times in only the first 15 minutes.
It's just like they're out there just literally singing these two words.
They are. They're saying, jellicle cats come out tonight, the jellicle cat and the jellicle thing. A jellicle cat is a jellicle cat, a jellicle ball for a jellicle cat, jellicle cat, jellicle cat. It's like...
It sounds awful.
I mean, I don't want to cast aspersions, but it's the one thing that they do is they leave you with no question as to what they are.
you are very aware that they're Jellicle cats. And
Not
they do
that the word Jellicle is unpacked for
They do
us.
explain nominally what the plot of this film would be if it had one. They set the stage for the fact that, as I mentioned, Monkus Trap says they come together every year, and the Jellicle cat makes the Jellicle choice to go to the Heaviside layer, and then we just introduce we meet a bunch of cats.
Throw their collar into Mount Doom or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sinking.
Oh no.
The Jellicles are after me. I'm descending. Okay, to what the opposite of the Heaviside layer. By the way, there's also another tribe called Pollicles.
So okay,
That's a whole other
that
thing.
actually does
But
answer.
there's dogs too.
So a
dogs.
Jellicle cat is this one tribe of cats.
Yes.
They're like, it's like the sharks and the jets of the cat world, the
Yeah.
Jellicles and the Pollicles.
But the Pollicles mainly you hear in reference to dogs, but they also mention Pollicle cats.
Oh boy! Now
And
I'm lost.
there are
Now I'm
dog
lost.
tribes
Just
too.
ruined it.
There are dog
I
tribes.
thought we were there. And then
Okay, anyway.
it's like a First Nation sort of thing.
Yeah, it's I have to sketch it out. I have to go watch it again and
Sure.
like, do the yarn on the wall thing.
Right.
So,
That's Comanche cat territory. We're in
yeah,
Navajo.
exactly. But there are a couple cats that I think we want to meet.
Always.
Watching the show, there's a couple of cats that have some key roles. We've met most of the major players, but a couple of cats with some key roles I think we want to meet. The first one is, well, she has two names. Oh, hang on.
course she
Before we
does.
introduce this, I also learned every cat has three names. We've discussed this on the show before. Every cat has the cats all get together in the middle of the stage, and they whisper about the cat's three names. It's very odd.
It's very strange.
Every cat has an everyday name that humans use.
Right, okay, so they're the name that they got from their
Yes,
masters or
exactly.
their people.
Then every cat has a special cat name that only cats know, and that's something like Monkus Trap and Mistopheles. But only one cat ever has that name. So once there's a Grisabella, there's no other Grisabellas.
Oh, for like all eternity.
All eternity.
Only one cat
Only
ever
one.
gets
Maybe
it.
that's why they're all so weird, is because
Right.
you can only get one. So you have the real
makes
name that
sense.
humans call them, then they have their special cat name that
Right.
only one cat
Well,
gets.
that's like what Monkus Strap or
Yes.
whatever would be. Okay.
But then every cat has their own name that only they know. But when you see a cat thinking, they're trying to connect to that special cat name that they only have inside themselves, and no one else ever knows it.
So
cat
they have a name that they never tell anyone, and it's just a word that exists only in their
Yes.
mind.
And that's what cats are contemplating when you see them deep in thought. They're trying to connect to that part of themselves that knows their innermost name.
This is like a cry for help. Like I feel like if Andrew Lloyd Webber came in and described this for us, we'd be like, all right, we're gonna start you out on some Zoloft.
I was watching this and I was like, Andrew Lloyd Webber, if he had not put his name on this, this would have been roundly laughed out of the
Yeah,
theater.
they're like the ravings of a madman.
Exactly. Anyway, this is going to go on for hours if I let myself keep getting sidetracked. Anyway, This cat has two names, but not because the cat has two names, because the character has two names. The actual character in our real world has two names. In the original show, her name is Jemima.
Okay.
But it was thought that name, because I'm not kidding, because of Aunt Jemima,
Right.
it was thought stateside that they should not call this character Jemima.
Too associated with the brand.
Well, no, they thought it has insensitive racial.
Right, yes, right. yeah, sure.
So this character is also known, this cat is also known as Syllabub in stateside.
Sebulba?
No, Syllabub. Sebulba is a whole other thing.
I wish Sebulba was in cat.
So this is Jemima, aka Syllabub. Now Jemima is not a cat of great consequence as far as like big numbers, but Jemima in the song Memory is the other cat that you hear singing with Grisabella, who's like the spirit of youth,
Right.
and like helps to revive Grisabella because she's
Got
all
it.
down on her luck.
Yes.
We talked about the cat prostitution and everything.
Right, we already long ago discussed Grisabella's
So
problems.
while Jemima is not a character of consequence in the sense like she doesn't get her own song like a Buster for Jones, for example, she does play in the musical a very key
part.
Right. So when you see that during memory in
yes.
the movie, you'll be like, oh, I think
That's
I know
Jemima
that's
slash,
Jemima.
but in the film she's
That's
credited as
Sebulba.
Syllabub.
Okay.
So that you'll say that's Syllabub.
She always wins the pod races.
Yes, she does. Now I don't know if in the UK in the movie if they're going to call her Jemima, if it's like a Philosopher's Stone, Sorcerer's Stone
Right,
thing.
maybe.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
So that's Jemima slash Syllabub. And now there's another cat. Now there's no mention that this cat is going to be in the film, but I am sincerely hoping that the cat is because.
Yeah, maybe they'll sneak in a little, like a shout out for the hardcore fans.
I mentioned Monkish Trap and the fact that he's a narrator. When Old Deuteronomy shows up for the Jellicle Ball to make the Jellicle choice, as we mentioned, to entertain him and to waste time in the musical, as far as I could tell, he puts on a play for him with the other cats, and it's a story about the two warring dog clans who get into a fight,
right? And
a hero emerges called the Rumpus Cat.
So this is happening in a play that's being put on for the cat. What is going on?
That's the Rumpus Cat.
Oh my God.
Okay, yes. Inside the play Cats that we are sitting there watching.
There's an additional play.
There's a play that is put on for Old Deuteronomy to entertain him before as like homage that is about two dog tribes that get into a fight.
Right. Okay.
But from the gutter emerges Rumpus Cat, the greatest cat of them all, who humbles the dogs and stops the fight and shows them who's boss. And that is Rumpus Cat.
Got it.
But that's actually one of the other cats dressed up as Rumpus Cat.
Is it Gus the theater cat?
It's not Gus the theater cat. It's not a.
So they bothered to introduce us.
It's not a growl tiger situation.
They bothered to introduce us to an aging cat actor, and then they have another role being played by a cat actor, and they were like, you know what? Let's not use the cat actor we've already set up. Let's write a new cat actor.
Well, we haven't met Gus yet because he hasn't toddled out on stage and sung his one song and then left for the rest of the show.
It still seems condense.
Yes.
Let's make this a little more efficient. Just one acting cat. How about that? No, can't do it.
No, can't do it.
Can't do it.
There's not even one Gus at every show. Sometimes there's Asparagus, who's a younger cat, and also Gus. Don't get me started, man. This rabbit hole goes so much deeper than you can imagine.
The book of this play is like 2,000 pages, and yet nothing happens.
It's insane. So if there were a Cat Avengers, Rumpus Cat would be the Captain America.
Captain America. Yeah, sure.
Catman, if you will. So Rumpus Cat, again, can't find any mention of Rumpus Cat being in the film, but I certainly hope that he is.
It's gonna be like a Chris Pine cameo or something.
Something. I mean, well, but he would be another one of the cats. Like it would be like.
Yeah, but I'm saying maybe they're holding on. It's going to be like a big star cameo. They don't want to blow it. Like one of those. Like it'll be Tom Hanks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but it might be.
It might. You never know. Right. That's where they'll unveil like.
What does America love more than cats?
Tom Hanks. Like Sam Jackson will come in dressed as a cat and recruit them all to join the Cat Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, Lon, next week, as I mentioned, is our final Meowntdown. There's still a couple cats that bear mentioning. Like I said, we've hit the major players, but I'll run through some more, and then we might do a brief recap, and then just go, Lon. The time has come. It's a bittersweet time.
It is, yeah.
I went back and looked. We started this journey on August the 12th, 2019.
Really? Wow.
124 days.
My goodness.
And we're here now on December the 16th. We've arrived at the final Meowntdown. That's right.
We don't have the rights for that.
We don't.
Have the rights
we probably just got claimed just for doing that. It's the final Meowntdown because, Lon, there are only 4, count them, 4 days left until Cats is released nationwide for everyone to see. I'm very lucky to say that I will be seeing it tomorrow. You will have a review right here on Fandom Entertainment as soon as the embargo drops, which is Wednesday afternoon. And
there you go.
I'm super excited. But before we get to Cats, we have to get to the Meowntdown to Cats. Naturally. 4 days away. We started 120 days ago. I'm more confused than I was then.
Yeah, every new Meowntdown, I get more confused.
Before we meet our final Cats, I do want to say a thank you to someone, one of our fans on Twitter, who every week, and I think you've probably seen this as well, every week she has been putting together recaps of our Meowntdown.
Yeah.
I almost went through and recapped all of the cats, and I'm like, you know what? hers is way better.
She's
So
been doing it
I want
already.
to thank you, Sarah. We put a little thank you graphic together for you. Thank you. I believe it's Misanthropic Jellicle Cat Lady at
Yes.
Sarah Windling has been putting together these every week, these awesome little transcriptions and
Yeah.
recaps of our Meowntdown.
Right. It's got sort of the summary, quotes from us,
Yeah.
a picture of us looking puzzled.
It's so much fun. So if you want to recap the Meowntdown, go to her Twitter feed at Sarah Windling. Shout her some likes and some retweets, and catch up on everything about the Meowntdown because they're all there. It's a better recap than I ever could have done. So thank you, Sarah.
Trip down cat memory lane.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. And Lon, as always, we're going to meet a cat, but we're not just going to meet a cat because believe it or not, we're at the end, and there are so many cats that we haven't met.
There are hundreds of cats.
There's so many cats we haven't met, and we're not going to meet every cat. We can't. We don't have the time.
I think this play introduces you to every cat in the Jellicle cat verse. We're meeting all.
Eventually, but I had to go with cats that I'm seeing listed on the cast list for the movie.
Okay.
With ones that I think are consequential. So this is a bit of a cat speed round. We got to get these cats out of
I'm
here.
going to keep my questions to a minimum.
It's a clearance sale.
Yeah.
All cats must go. So we got several. So let's just run through them.
I'll try.
Some cats that I had to mention. The first one being Jelly Lorem. Maybe not the most flashy cat, but featured in a lot of different musical numbers. One of the more mature Jellicles. Brings some gravitas to the Jellicle tribe.
All right, you know what? I was going to make a point.
Nope,
We're just going to keep
we
going.
got to keep going. Jelly Lorem, because this one you're going to have questions about.
Okay.
Griddlebone. Griddlebone is the paramour of Growl Tiger. You remember Growl Tiger we discussed was the character in Growl Tiger's Last Stand that Gus played. Now, if you're wondering what Growl Tiger...
So Griddlebone is a fictional character.
Yes, Griddlebone is a fictional character, as is Growl Tiger, a fictional character.
Even in the world of cats,
in the world of cats, it is a reminiscence from Gus the theater cat of a production that he played, Growl Tiger.
So
and
we're
Griddlebone.
definitely going to see that in this film. Gus is going to have a flashback.
That's the thing. That particular part of the show was cut from the version I watched, the '98 film musical version. But both characters, Ray Winstone is confirmed to play Growl Tiger. Both characters listed in the cast manifest of the Cats film. So it looks like we are going to see Growl Tiger's Last Stand in the film.
This needs a movie within the movie.
Yes.
I don't think there's any excuse for not doing it.
So Griddlebone, paramour of Growl Tiger, look out for Griddlebone. Alonzo, not a flashy cat, but an important cat, often referred to perhaps as the second in command of the Jellicle cats.
Wow,
He
second in command.
Confrontational of McCavity the Mystery Cat, stands up to him. And remember Rumpus Cat, who's in the other play within the play in Cats?
Let's, for the record, say that I do.
Okay. He plays Rumpus Cat. He's the guy in the Rumpus Cat costume.
Oh, my God.
We met Rumpus Cat last week.
I do,
It's the superhero cat.
Yes.
Traditionally, Alonzo is the cat who plays
pretending
Rumpus
to
Cat
be
in the play that they put on for Old Deuteronomy inside the play that we're watching.
It's like his alter ego.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony
Well,
Stark
I mean, he's playing a part.
Right.
He's playing a part. Cassandra, mostly defined by her hatred of Grisabella.
Okay.
Doesn't like Grisabella. Very disdainful. Also the assistant of magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Can't you say this actress right here she's actually pretending to be a cat. I feel like very rarely do any of them actually try to look like cats.
On the stage show, they do.
Oh, okay.
They're very cat-like.
Because a lot of the actors we see, it just looks like they're like in the cat makeup, but then they're doing human things. Whereas this Cassandra looks like she's trying to look like a cat.
She's one of the more feline of the stage cats. I'll grant you that. Now we have Admetus, who's also known as Plato, not inside the show, just in different productions of Cats. Sometimes this character is known as Admetus. Sometimes this character is known as Plato.
Have you ever heard of a play like that?
No.
Where they're like, oh, well, this is Romeo and Juliet, but sometimes he's Hank.
Yeah.
I know.
It's bizarre. In the Broadway show, the actor who plays Plato / Admetus usually also plays McCavity the Mystery Cat, kind of like how in Peter Pan, like the dad usually plays Captain Hook.
Yes.
But I don't mean he's an actor. He's not a cat playing McCavity. So he's not an actor playing a cat playing McCavity. He's an actor playing a cat and also McCavity, if that makes any sense.
It does. We've been doing this long enough that I actually followed.
In the film version, he's going by Plato.
Okay.
And he has a twin named Socrates. Apparently,
I get it.
Plato and Socrates. Socrates, a new character for the film. version.
Right. New characters.
So we have a new-
they sat down and they were like, "What's the big problem with this play that we got to figure out? Not enough cats."
Well, here's the thing. It's because there may be a twin missing. Because there's another cat
So there were
called
triplets.
No, there's another cat called Coricopat, who is a cat. Now, this cat usually has a twin sister named Tantamil, not listed in the credits for cats. So it could be that Coricopat's twin, Tantamil, is out of the show, and then they give Plato a twin named Socrates. They're just swapping out twins. Here's the thing, though, about Tantamil and Coricopat. They have telepathic abilities.
Of course they do.
And they can see the future.
Sure.
And
like,
they're linked psychically.
as so many cats can.
That's
just realism.
I'm not making this up.
Wow, that's a lot.
This is true.
That's a suddenly very like sci-fi element sort of
Yes.
thrown into this otherwise fantasy world.
Are we going to have two sets of twins? I don't know, but there's going to be at least one new twin in the film.
All the cats should have twins. I'm
I
just gonna
agree.
throw that out.
Just double the size of
Lord
all the
Weber,
cats.
what were you thinking?
And then, of course, Demeter, who is a somewhat major cat that we haven't met. Demeter, scared of McCavity, not a fan of McCavity, the mystery cats. She sings in both Jenny Anydot's song. She sings in the song introducing Grisabella. She has sympathy for Grisabella, one of the few cats who shows Grisabella any kind of kindness and warmth.
Okay.
Also, very key figure. There's a point at which McCavity infiltrates the Jellicle camp. Demeter raises the alarm. She recognizes McCavity for what he is, which is evil.
I think all this time we're getting to the very end. I think that's the first plot point that we've ever discussed. It's like a thing that happens in the show.
There's one plot point and it involves that, and it happens, and then they introduce another cat who immediately solves it.
I tried.
I know.
I did my best.
We all did. Yeah. And now I'm sure there are some cats. If you're watching at home, we may not have mentioned your favorite cat.
They're screaming at home right now. They're furious with us.
So many. I had to prioritize the ones that I've seen listed for the film. We could sit here all day and talk about different cats who may or may not be in the movie. And maybe we can.
Yeah.
But partly because I do want to keep the viewership for the show high. Lon, any thoughts on this journey in general? This lead up to cats.
Too many. I mean, now I almost feel like inevitably seeing the movie is gonna feel like a little bit of a letdown because it's grown so sprawling in my mind.
I agree.
When I imagine the world of Jellicle cats, it's endless. It's infinitely creative, and so seeing it harnessed into a single movie, I don't know how it could possibly live up to these.
Well, we know, and the movie itself now is taking on a life of its own.
Yes.
Just today, I was sent a story about Rebel Wilson sniffing Ian McKellen's backside, his butt. In cat school, Jason Derulo was talking about them CGIing out his genitals.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift, she had her thing about. She was saying she flew, or the team that was making the movie flew out to meet her just so they could show her what she was going to look like as a cat, and this was what really sold her on doing the movie. She says it's the most amazing effect she'd ever seen.
Yeah, this
is all just today.
This cat is like an insanity tornado. It just picks up anything in its path, and you're just swept into this whirlwind.
Now you're in it,
and just deposited somewhere.
Yeah. I also saw.
I don't know where.
I saw a description of the film that described it as psychedelic today, which can't wait.
Yeah,
so
baby.
Excited.
Oh, it's got to be. How could it not be psychedelic?
That's shagadelic.
Oh, you're right. That is shagadelic. You're right. My apologies to the Austin Powers fans out there. Salon, we must regrettably close the book on the Meowntdown.
I know. I can't. What 2020 film is going to inspire us?
I actually wanted to solicit that from the audience because I believe the idea for this originally came from a few people in our audience. If you're watching, and you may not be at this point, and you can think of a movie, it can't just be an anticipated movie. It's got to be a movie like 9 Lives was the one. They were both cat related. 9 Lives was the one we did before this. Now Cats. It's got to be something weird,
an oddball thing. There's a lot to pick at.
Right. Yeah. So make some suggestions below if you think there's another movie we can start counting down to.
Yeah, I'd love to get some thoughts on this.
I would love to know too, because this is fun. I enjoy doing this. I'm going to miss doing it. But who knows? Perhaps we'll find a suitable replacement. So we close the book on the Meowntdown. Thank you for everyone that kept up with this ridiculousness.